What killed him is dividing people.
And personally, I would not get it.
I guess they're having some blood clotting issues.
You know, I'm waiting for people to grow two heads.
What's up, everyone? 我是麦克老师. Welcome back to another episode. I've got a hot topic for you today. 新冠疫苗, the COVID vaccine. Have you taken it yet? Are you planning to take it? I'm going to interview several Americans and get their real opinion on it. If they're going to take it, what they think about it, are they worried about it? And then I'm going to share with you a few statistics about what's happening with the vaccine in the US, as well as give you my own personal opinion about it. I always try to give you guys the real stuff, not just stuff from the mainstream media. We're gonna go do a bunch of interviews, but first, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to that channel if you like this content. All right, let's go see what Americans think of the COVID vaccine. Hey Grady, how's it going?
How's Micah?
Yeah, so you guys probably remember Grady from a video we did last October, wasn't it? Right before the election? Yeah. So quite a bit's happened. Grady's father actually got COVID and passed away about a month, 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yes.
Well, first off, yeah, I know we've talked about it, but super sorry to hear about that.
I know, buddy. He was 16. What killed him is dividing people. Most things that kill people, agree is a big deal. He got the first shot a few days before.
But he had the disadvantage of he was already older.
He was older. He was a little heavier than he probably should have been. My mom was taking care of him and her mother, who both had it.
Oh, yeah.
90 and fought through it. My father didn't make it. So,
are you going to take the vaccine, or have you taken it?
We've already gotten it.
So, Dr. Nate, how's it going? Have you been vaccinated yet?
Yep. Yeah. I've had both shots. Second one took me out for a day. I mean, it was definitely a lot worse than any flu shot or anything I ever had.
And personally, I would not get it. I've never gotten the flu vaccination, and I haven't been sick in over 25 years. So
I'll take the vaccine, but I want to wait and see. I don't like the fact that they trying to make you do something like now, you got to do it now. Yeah. Like, what's the rush? If it says like you can't do stuff unless you take it, and I have to take it, then I have no choice, right?
Did you have to pay anything for it?
Nope. Just walked in the guy. I was in the first round because I'm a healthcare provider and in one of the riskiest professions too, as far as they're concerned. So they were trying to get it out to us first. So
free. It's free. It's been made readily available.
Yes, you can even get a booster shot right now.
It's tough to mandate it, but here's the it's not a right to be able to fly in airplanes. Now, I know that's going to make people crazy. Okay, be crazy. Yeah.
I would be for voluntary inoculation, not mandated inoculation.
I think that there should pretty much still be a mandate, but like people aren't always going to follow it. And if you want to be crazies, kind of got to let them be.
Say for something like rubella, common vaccines that we take as children, I don't mind taking those vaccines. It's not a problem because it's been a very long time. They've perfected the vaccine.
Do you have any concerns about the vaccine?
On a personal level, just say, I'm trusting you guys, Now that said, if I hear that there are terrible side effects, that'd be devastating, Yeah. Do you want to risk this or risk that?
Yeah, the concerns are that it was forced through without long enough period of clinical trials. Also, the Johnson & Johnson is going to be no longer available because they just had some repercussions with blood clotting.
Not really, because I have a pretty decent understanding of that's my cat of the science behind it all. And I'm really thrilled by the ideas of messenger RNA stuff and kind of just being able to actually program what we want the cell to do specifically rather than injecting a bunch of different things and then trying to get a specific result out of it. I guess they're having some blood clotting issues. I mean, even when they were mentioning it, it was like 6 cases out of like 5 million people that have been given it, which still seems statistically pretty small.
But this thing just came out 6 months ago. You know, I'm waiting for people to grow 2 heads.
What do you think about the vaccine passport idea?
Lean towards, yeah, we don't have to be in this position. We could have done things differently. That's the point, is when we don't do things right the first time, it means you have to take stronger measures at some level, at some point.
Not at all. Testing would be fine. They've got 3-minute tests. So let the free market develop even less intrusive testing, and you can do it at all the borders.
Like if you're traveling to your neighboring state, that's fine. But anywhere beyond your neighboring state, then you should maybe be required to at least have it on you, whether or not like it's required to show it at any point. You know, eventually the data will win out. People will understand. And then in the end, they'll be doing it for more of the right reasons rather than trying to force them to do it.
No, if you're going to get it, if you're going to get this thing, you're going to get it. Like, why you didn't do this with the other vaccines? The other, like the Ebola or some other stuff, you got vaccine for all these other kinds.
How long do you think we should continue to wear masks?
When I lived in China with you, and I was like, oh, they wear masks when they're sick to take care of other people. That seemed like a good idea. You know, we just didn't see it in the United States. And I thought, good for them. But when it became political here, I thought, oh man, I think we just need to all be decent people and just wear masks.
Social acceptance if you're going in a restaurant, and just a professional courtesy for people's emotions that are, you know, that have that fear in them. And I carry a mask in my back pocket, and I wear it, you know, for those reasons.
People just got to do a risk calculation and figure out if they're worried about wearing a mask and protecting themselves or not. And
I walk into a store, if they tell me to wear the mask, I wear the mask. Other than that, I won't wear it.
What do you think of the U.S.'s response to the pandemic?
It's embarrassing. It's selfishness. They're idiots. That's how I feel. You know, the number, it's basically the flu. Okay, we've never shut down the country for something in my lifetime and lost 500,000 people. It's stupidity. Yeah, I'm pissed.
Lunacy. We jumped in to become problem solvers and do what we're best at, and we enabled other groups of people. You know, they used it for their own political gain, used it for, you know, fear mongering, and it'll be like the little boy that cried wolf. And they start to politically, through news organizations, start the fear again. Nobody's going to take them serious.
Pretty hard to do anything effective with that many different people, especially since they were pretty well unprepared for any sort of biological deal. Once it gets out there, it's just going to spread everywhere eventually. And it's like the power of biology is just, I mean, it's going to find a way, you know.
I think people are smart. I'm not talking about the media's response. The people's response have been very good, you know, because everybody have their self-interest at heart. If it's super dangerous, they're going to stay away from people. All of this stuff is political theater.
How afraid of getting COVID are you personally, if 10 is extremely scared and 1 is not scared at all?
Be a 2. I'm going to trust that this thing's working.
0.
3. Like, I'm not scared of getting it, but man, I definitely don't want to die.
I hope those opinions were enlightening. Of course, it's only 4 people, so it's a very small sample size, but I think it represents a pretty good range of opinions towards the COVID vaccine in the US. We're going to look at a few statistics from the Pew Research Center and see what's really going on in the minds of Americans. As expected, it's pretty divided among political party lines. We can see about 80 to 85% of Democrats think it's a threat, whereas only about 40 to 46% of Republicans think it's a threat. They are finding that there's rising confidence in the vaccine, but initially only 37% of people in the US felt comfortable being one of the first ones to receive the vaccine. Personally, I would also be in the uncomfortable group. I would feel more comfortable if more time had passed and we had more data to collect. One bright spot is, as of April 17th, 39% of all Americans had received at least their first shot of the COVID vaccine.
Most people have either been exposed to it or had the vaccine or both now. So
if we combine that with the fact that at least 10% of Americans had COVID, probably many more, they should be able to reach herd immunity in the next couple of months. As for me personally, I do plan to take the vaccine. However, I'm not in a huge hurry to get it. I'm in China right now. There's really not many cases happening in Shanghai. There are a lot more vulnerable people than me who need to get it first. If I decide I'm going to leave China for any reason or the borders start to open, then I will go register for the vaccine. I don't really have any worries about it, but I do know that these don't last forever. Some people say they're only going to last for 6 months. Other people say 3 years. Even if it lasts 1 or 2 years, I'm not planning to leave China in the next 12 months. So for me and my family, we're going to wait. I don't support a mandate. I think you should be able to choose if you want it or not. And I think most people will choose it so we can still achieve herd immunity without the mandate. COVID passports sound a little scary to me, and I don't really support them, but it seems like they are going to be inevitable for us to start to travel again. The new normal. What do you guys and girls think? Are you taking the vaccine? Should it be mandatory for everyone? How about vaccine passports? Leave me a message below, subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. 我是麦克老师，下次再见。